Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, as you may have already noticed, the first snow of the year is currently falling, but don't rush out to stock up on supplies yet because it won't be here for long. CTV's Katira Jones is in Hanover with more.
That's right, the first flakes of 2020 are here, and I want to show our viewers at home what it looks like in the western part of the state of Maryland. This is a camera right over here, I-170 at exit 18, Maryland 68. Now, the State Highway Administration has access to about 400 traffic cameras, and personnel are able to monitor road conditions throughout Maryland. Officials say this fast-moving storm should be out of the area by Tuesday evening.
This is a west to east type storm, and out in the colder elevations of Garrett and Allegheny County, they're getting a pretty good clip of snow right now. But as it makes its way into the metro region, it's going to start as rain, which is why we didn't go out and pre-treat this time, because that would have just simply washed everything off the roadway. But it's going to transition into snow right around the rush hour, right around the afternoon rush hour. So that's a challenge for us in that our equipment's going to be stuck in the same traffic as everybody else. This is the time of year where those temperatures can really vary 1 degree for 1 mile, and it can be the difference between wet pavement and slick pavement. So what we tell people, if it looks wet, treat it like it's slick and slow your speeds down. Give yourself plenty of space between you and the following person in front of you. And just give yourself plenty of time. We're going to be out all night treating, making sure that it doesn't freeze up.
It's important to note that the Prince George's County Public School System has made the decision to cancel all after-school activities. Reporting in Hanover, Katira Jones, CTV News.
And for real-time traffic alerts, you can visit md511.maryland.gov. Well, getting violent criminals off of the streets, that's the most important issue of the upcoming legislative session. That was the message from Governor Larry Hogan during a press conference at the State House this morning. The governor says residents can expect plenty of legislation aimed at crime fighting during the upcoming session. Hogan also announced that he'll introduce the Ethics and Accountability Act in government. The measure would increase fines for bribery of public officials by 1,000%, up to $100,000. Many lawmakers are calling education funding under the Kirwan Commission the most important issue of the session. The governor had this to say about funding.
The Kirwan Commission has spent 3 years talking about some really great ideas about education and no time talking about how they're going to pay for it. It's not up to me to figure out how they pay for their ideas. Hopefully the legislature at some point and the Kirwan Commission will come up with some proposals on how they plan to fund some of these ideas. But we're not going to be raising taxes. I think we now have successfully gotten them to back off of the tax hike proposals that they had been talking about.
And also, we learned today that among the nation's governors, Larry Hogan is the most popular. A Gonzalez Research and Media Services poll indicates that 75% of Marylanders approve of the job he's doing. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker has been the most popular for years. Well, Maryland Democrats convened to discuss their top priorities ahead of the 441st General Assembly session. State senators and delegates gathered at the West End Hotel in Annapolis. The 90-day session begins tomorrow. CTV spoke with presumptive Senate President Bill Ferguson about this upcoming legislative session. Ferguson says one of the top issues is finding funding for the Kirwan Commission's reports.
We have a once-in-a-generation moment to radically ensure that every single child in Maryland has access to a world-class education. What we know are the costs of not doing it are astronomical.
And Ferguson says he will not raise property sales or income taxes to pay for the Kirwan Commission. Meantime, Attorney General Brian Frosh was also in attendance. One of his top priorities for the 2020 General Assembly session is to ban the sale of flavored e-cigarettes in the state. Frosh says he's working with Prince George's Delegate Derek Davis, who has pre-filed a bill to prohibit the sale of flavored tobacco products. This comes a year after the age to buy tobacco products was raised to 21 years old.
This is a way of getting young people addicted to nicotine and ultimately even tobacco. And getting rid of those flavors is, I think, a very important step towards better public health.
Maryland Senators Clarence Lamb and Dolores Kelly are sponsoring that bill.